Welcome to another day of adventures with Wes
and Jeff,
and we are at Haleakala National Park. Stick with us today and we will show you the things to see and do here at this interesting park here on the island of Maui at the Hawaiian Islands. And we will go to some of the overlooks. We're going to go to the top of the summit and we're going to visit both of the districts that they have here at Haleakala National Park. That's the Summit District as well as Kipahula, right? Kipahula area, which is the Rainforest District over by Hana. So stick with us today and we will show you those things here at this very interesting park. We are at the Pipiwai Trail. It's just 0.3 and it goes down just about 3 blocks, but almost straight down. And it's an overlook into the crater. So let's take a look and see what there is to see. So this is a ranch wall. It was stacked by the stones they used, the native stones they used here to stack this for the cattle ranch that was here. On the Pipiwai Trail, and it's just 0.3. Hopefully we'll have a great view of the crater down below. The Haleakala crater, but it's very rocky. Watch every step that you take because it's kind of jagged, but it's just a short little overlook. Jeff's already advancing up in front of me there, but look how it is. It's like socked in on this side, but then you can see the valley below. Pretty cool. So Jeffrey's saying there's a crater. Aha! There is a crater up here. So look at the colors. And it is this little lookout point here. It's very windy. 56 degrees here. When we started down below, this is at the 8,000 foot level, 8,800 foot. And at least we have a view of the crater and you can view it from here. The trade wind inversion talking about that, as well as so it traps the clouds into the crater.
You can see individual cinder cones
inside the crater, Haleakala crater. And you can see how jagged the edges are here. You see that the clouds are starting to move into the crater itself. This is the Pipiwai Trail. It's a must-do. The summit of Haleakala at 10,023 feet. So we're at the top of the summit building here, which happens to be closed right now. They got it boarded up. But there is a nice little trail that goes along the ridge, which Jeff has already started on. And you can see those dome golf ball looking things that are perched up there. That's all for the studying of the planets and the solar system and all that, because this is a dark sky park. At nighttime, it is supersonic dark, and you see all the stars. So people come over just to stargaze. But those laboratories do a lot of that research as well. University of Hawaii and the USGS has their towers up here, but it's at the highest point here at Haleakala National Park. I'm going to take this short little trail here and go around and see what that has to offer. Visitor Center at Haleakala Summit. There's a little trail. It's only 0.2. It's called the Pipiwai Trail, and it's only 0.2 up to the top. Jeff's already headed up there. I'm going to join him. We're going to see what this has to offer for the views of the crater. Trail environment seems nothing but barren rock, but once you get into it, look at this. Then it's these rocks. There's also some plants that are tucked down into the corners, and every little crevice This makes for a really interesting environment. There's Jeffrey. I'm going to join him up here on this trail. It's nice to get out of the wind. It just cuts right through you. We're not used to wind chill, but there's definitely a wind chill here. So hiking on that trail off the summit, there's the little visitor center. Keep in mind, that visitor center closes at noon. It's open from sunrise, because all the folks that come up here for sunrise, until noon only. We got here at 12:15. There's Jeffrey. All right, we're at the top. Boy, that point 2 seemed like a long distance.
It did. It's uphill.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that. That's crazy. Behind me is the sliding sands trail, which goes all the way down into the crater, 11.2 miles. And you can go out the other end, but it's an epic trail. It's one that everybody wants to take. I'm going to take just a small section of it and go down to Split Rock. So I'll let you know how that goes. Sliding Sands Trail, and this is at the top of the summit here, and it goes down into the crater, so lots of different points to see, but I plan on just doing the smaller hike that goes down into the crater, because once you go down you got to come back up, but it goes down quite a ways. I'm going to do that and then come back up, meet back up with Jeff. So just gonna do the sliding sands to the Split Rock and then back up. That's one of the points. So I'll take some pictures along the way and we'll check out to see what Sliding Sands Trail is all about. Here on the sliding sands trail, it's pretty gradual at first from the parking lot as you go down, and then you get a massive view of the crater. We were talking to this lady who's up at the summit, and she said, I've been here 10 times, and this is the very first time I've been able to see the cinder cones that are down in the crater. Here's the trail that goes down, winds down into the crater, and the clouds are at bay off over there, and let's hope they stay there, because I plan on going down quite a ways to the split rock section. So interesting. The other thing is I'm the only one on this section of the trail right now. I can hear people down below. The wind just carries it straight up. I can almost understand what they were saying, and they're like 1,000 feet below me. It's amazing how your voice will carry with the wind. Just a few other folks on the trail. Here on the sliding sands trail, it really does feel like if you slipped and fall, you'd be sliding all the way down. That's like thousands of feet down to the bottom of the crater. So I don't know if that's the reason why they call it sliding sands, but I'll put it on here as kind of like an interesting fact. But this is an epic trail. This is a really, you have to go down into the crater a little ways, but you have to at least go to the sliding rock section. This is amazing. The views and the colors of the volcanic rock that has been left behind here with the cinder cones. Just epic. Loving it. I'm currently standing down in the crater with the cinder cones behind me here, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about this park and what makes it unique. This park is very unique. This is the crater down in here. I'm on the sliding sands trail, and this particular park is located in the Hawaiian Islands. It was established back in and became a national park back in 1916, and then it was part of Hawaiian Volcanoes National Park, and then it became its own separate park in 1961, just a few years after the state of Hawaii became a state in the Union. It's 30,183 acres, and it has 1.2 million visitors per year. And so this is a sliding sands trail. There's several other trails that are up here at the Summit District. So this park's unique ecosystem makes for one of the world's most studied and interesting living laboratories. So one of the more popular things to do here for tourists is to hike and to watch the sunrise and the sunset. If you'd like to watch the sunrise at the summit, it's about an hour and a half for a drive up to the summit, but you have to leave about 3 a.m. in order to get up here and get a spot. It takes a reservation system through recreation.gov, and you have to book that 6 months in advance. Otherwise, you enter a lottery for the remaining spots that until it books up. There's only 50 parking spots here at the top of the summit, so that's why they limit the amount of people that can be up here to witness sunrise. Sunset, whole different story. Anybody can come up here, and it's equally a great experience to view that from the 10,023 feet here at the summit. There's several short hikes that you can take. You drive to the summit. It's 37 miles from the entrance all the way up to the summit. So it's a nice little drive. It twists and turns. You got to watch out for bikes, because that's the thing to do here, is to ride the bike down the summit. So you hope those brakes held up, because that's quite a ride. I wanted to show you here in the crater the type of rock this is. It's on the side, it's like a really fine rock, and you can see there's a little bit larger rocks scattered about, but when you scrape into it, it's kind of almost got a soil consistency underneath it. But this is all like volcanic rock pebbles, but when you scrape into it, it kind of clumps together. That's how some of these plants can grow in this type of soil, because it kind of decomposes down into that kind of material that it can sustain life. But it takes a while. This is it's been 400 years since this has last erupted. So, and I don't know that it's been in this particular area that I'm hiking on the Sliding Sands Trail, but pretty interesting terrain. It really does look like a moonscape. This big boulder's here. Not a lot of other big boulders, a lot of smaller rock. That's pretty unusual, because they usually tumble on down the crater, but for some reason this one has stopped right here and not progressed on down. There's one precariously sitting right there, which looks like it could tumble down at any moment. Hike down to, on this trail along this ridge, all the way over and down over that mound there, and down further to Split Rock. And it's been a really great day. Wind chill, kind of bad. You have to put a lot of suntan lotion on, because you're at 10,000 feet and you're surrounded by water out here in the middle of the Pacific at the Hawaiian Islands. Haleakala overlook, and it's just at the top of these stairs. But when you're driving up the mountain or up to the summit, you can't turn off into this overlook. You have to do it once you head back down, but it gives you a different perspective and a different view of the crater, the Haleakala crater. So let me check this out for you. So overlooking the crater here, you can see Off in the distance, you can see Mauna Loa. We have the two volcanoes that comprise Hawaiian Islands National Park on the Big Island. One thing interesting is they have named each one of these peaks and in the little craters as well. When you look out the window, you look off of this, you can identify each and every one today. Not every day, but today we're looking pretty good, nice and clear. Our camping spot here at Kipahula Campground and the district on the south side of the island, and we stay here 3 nights. So this is the campground behind me here. It's got like 20 spots, camping spots. It's $8 a night, and you have to get reservations well in advance. Maximum of 3 nights. So we stayed here 3 nights. We only booked it about 2 weeks ago, so we had to stay in 3 different spots, but we were able to just move our tent around. The first night we stayed like in this spot over here. That's closest to the ocean. Sometimes the sea spray pops up and you get a little mist, but it's also the most exposed. So this is the rainy side of the island here at Maui. So we've seen rain showers, but they don't usually last that long. And in the night, 2 or 3 different rain showers we heard it hit the tent. Unfortunately, our tent is the type that if you touch anything on the inside, it bleeds through. And so we had wet bedding each and every night. Hopefully tonight, which is our last night, we will not have it. And the reason why is because we're in campsite number 5. 4, 5, 6, 7. Those sites are the best sites to have, and because they have these huge canopy trees, set your tent underneath these big trees, and it blocks some of the rain from coming in. So if you are going to stay at this campground, then try and choose. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here this way. This is spot number 5. They're nice, big, spacious spots, and then it loops around this way. You have 2 comfort stations. You have it's very primitive, so it's pit toilets, no water down here. You have to bring your own water, but there are like 4 spots that are along the ocean side there. So that's the dealio here, and this is our campsite number 5. And like I said, you can set your tent up underneath this canopy here, and it should keep us a little bit drier. And that's our view out over the ocean there. So, and there's some palm trees, just really pretty. We are at the visitor center over on the Kipahula District, and we're going to take this 2.2 mile each direction hike to the Pipiwai Trail. It goes back to this beautiful waterfall that is 400 feet tall, so one of the taller ones here in Maui. And there's a separate trail that goes to the Kolua Point Trail, which is the 7 sacred pools. So I'll just show you the signage. So this is the signage for it, and this is the trail. It leads right away from the visitor center. So the first one, so we're staying at this campground here, and there's a trail that links over. This is the small 0.5, the Kolua Point, which is the 7 sacred pools here. And then there's another waterfall that's here. And then, but we're gonna take this one right now, the Pipiwai Trail that goes along here. There's a large banyan tree, which I'll show you that, as well as we're gonna go up to this falls, and that's 2 miles from here. So should be a very interesting hike. So
Okay, we're gonna go up the Pipiwai Trail, up to the falls and into the bamboo forest.
All right, here we go. Pipiwai Trail, best in Maui. And you come up on the first falls, and this is it, and it's called
Makahiku Falls.
Makahuki Falls.
Makahiku.
Jeff says it's a Makakuku Falls.
Makahiku.
Makakiku.
Makahiku.
And so he's going to tell.
It's like when it's low volume, and this is high volume. And right now, it's pretty close to high volume.
Looks like it's pretty high volume. It splits right at the top. That's pretty interesting. Look at all this green lush around us. There's the ocean down there. Look at all these vines that are cascading off of the cliffs. And then, yeah, quite a little waterfall there. Beautiful. Extremely tropical. This,
Lush.
of course, is lush. It is, of course, a rainforest. So, is it the only national park within a rainforest? I believe so. So, it's pretty cool. We'll look it up. We'll put it at the bottom of the screen here for you. But this is the
Makahiku Falls.
Makahiku Falls. There you go. So this is the banyan tree along the trail, and this sucker is huge. If somebody's standing next to it, you can kind of get a perspective. Kind of has these that are going down. How large this tree is. It's amazing, the size of these branches that go almost straight out, vertical, I mean horizontal from the trunk. And it has all of these different little, the bark of it is like got elongated sections to it. And you've got these that also root down in order to support the heavier sections of the branches. Just an amazing tree. Pipiwai Trail here at Haleakala National Park. You have to really watch your footing. Especially there's just a storm that just went through here, and so all of these roots that are exposed are very slick. So you have to really watch your step when you're hiking this trail. This is the first bridge we came to along the Pipiwai Trail, and we got a fall here. That's pretty cool. There we go. Beautiful. This is not the fall that we're going to at the termination of this Pipiwai Trail, but it is the cascading section of the pools, yeah, that goes down to the sacred pools. And this side, whew, that's quite a drop. Look at that. So there's some falls there, and you go across the bridge and you enter into the bamboo forest. This is a section of the Pipiwai Trail that is pretty cool. This is a bamboo forest. It's very thick and really shaded and nice. Look at that. Bamboo forest section of the Pipiwai Trail. So there's actually two sections and this is kind of dangerous. It drops right off. So that's the waterfall. That is pretty tough. And then the other waterfall is down on that side. So that's pretty cool. As you're walking down the trail, the Pipiwai Trail, you come to a section where there's a waterfall on that side, a waterfall on this side, and then there's one on this side on the secondary bridge. Really nice. I mean, that water is coming down nice and strong. If you look back in there, you can see water is rushing.
We're hiking in the bamboo forest, and this is a big chunk of bamboo.
Ha! These are pieces of bamboo that have fallen, and you know, they're hollow on the inside, so you can see all the way through them, and they make that noise. But you can't take anything from the national park, so this has to stay for other people to enjoy. Hiking along the Pipiwai Trail, a certain section of it that goes through the bamboo forest right before you get to the waterfalls has a boardwalk, and it's raised above the bamboo forest floor, so pretty cool. This is the bamboo forest section of the trail on the Pipiwai Trail. And there's Jeffrey, and there he is. So much fun. We started this hike about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. And you know, I'm thinking that's just about perfect because we had just some short rain showers that didn't last long, but we were kind of protected from the rains because of all these trees. And now we're in this bamboo forest right before we get to the waterfall, and it is you can feel the breeze coming up from the cool waters that are coming down from the mountain, and it's really refreshing. But this is a raised boardwalk section of the Pipiwai Trail.
coming up the last stretch up to the waterfall. It's really flowing.
You can hear it a long ways away because that water's dropping 400 feet.
We made it all the way to Waiumuku Falls.
This waterfall is 400 feet drop here on the Pipiwai Trail. It's an amazing waterfall and it's flowing really good right now because they've had a lot of rains. But they stop you at this point. They don't want you to go any further because they said it's too dangerous. They said with the heavy flows like this, that rocks and different items come over the top of the waterfall and could fall down and actually injure you. So that's the reason why they don't allow people to get closer. When the wind blows, it hits the bamboo stalks together and makes this clock, clock, clock sound. It's pretty cool. They're not falling, they're just hitting each other at the top of the point. It's a very interesting and rewarding hike once you get to the back at the very end of it, which is back to the waterfall. So this is the section of the road in Maui that is over by the Kipahula, and this is the section of the road that is now no longer because the rocks have slidden and engulf the road, so you can't go all the way around any longer. And this is February the 7th, 2024. They said it happened last Monday, so got lots of rain. Fortunately, it came down that hill and closed off the road. So they have it closed on this side. You have to go back through Hana. We're gonna go on the short hike. It's called the Kolua Point Trail. It's 0.5 of a mile and it makes a loop. It starts here at the visitor center over on the Kipahula District, and it goes in a loop. It goes down to the pools of Ohio. So those are the 7 sacred pools here at Haleakala National Park. So we're just going to take this short little hike here. So this is where it splits off. You can either go, it says the trail goes down the hill. Just a few hundred feet down the trail, when you turn off to the right hand side, it has some nice history about this trail and this area, the district here, and it's right underneath this gorgeous banyan tree. So the history of the Kipahula district includes 5 phases of land use. Several hundred years ago, the Hawaiians settled in the Kipahula area. In 1848, 70 years after Western contact, major changes occurred when the Maui division privatized land ownership for Hawaiians for the first time. And then 100 years after Western contact, the sugar mill was in operation in this area and primary driver of the local economy. By 1930, sugar had declined and the brief pineapple venture had failed, and the Kipahula Cattle Company was thriving. They still have cattle in this area of the park. So this area was really, I spoke with some of the locals while we've been here for the last few days, and it was interesting to interact with them and to get their perspective. But they're like, this area of the park was really farmland and agriculture based, and one of the last areas that was true Hawaiian. The Hawaiians that were native to this area really just had a presence here for the longest time without any Western intervention. And once that sugar mill came in, they brought in a bunch of foreign workers, those of which were the Chinese and other nationalities. And then they brought a lot of the plants and vegetables and things that they had on their homelands. They brought here, and it was invasive species to the natural Hawaiian Islands. So that's why they had a lot of different animals, plants, trees, different things that they brought with them.
On the trail, here there's an area where they're restoring the natural hala forest. This plant with these leaves kind of looks like a yucca. They use the leaves to make sails for the canoes, and it has an interesting breadfruit, kind of looking breadfruit, that comes apart, and each piece forms a little paintbrush. And they would use those for dyes and for painting things. Each of those pieces of this fruit supposedly come apart to form a little paintbrush. And here's an example of one of the little pieces of that pod that forms the little paintbrush here that they would use to paint different things. The female plant of the hala also contains some kind of dye that they would use these paintbrushes and the dye to paint certain things.
It's a really nice little trail, just wraps around here. is one of the archaeological sites that's along the trail here, and it is one of the traditional homes that they had, the foundation of a home that was here. But they had several terraces, and they fished right off of this area, and there was multiple houses that went up the hillside, which are now obscured by a forest. So right along the trail here, beautiful. They got lots of informational signage, but you can also take a look at the ocean here, where the 7 Sacred Pools dumps into the ocean. So this is the 7 Sacred Pools. Are we on a shortcut? So this is where the 7 Sacred Pools come down from the waterfall area all the way to the ocean. They advise you at certain times of the year, this is one of the times of the year, that they say do not swim in the 7 Sacred Pools. People want to do so, but if it takes you down and into the ocean, they say that there are sharks there waiting for debris and for animal remains and people to be washed out to sea, and they're waiting for you. So not a good scene if you don't want to get eaten by a shark.
Looks like this might lead down to the pools, and maybe at one point this is what they had called the swimming trail. But it looks like it's closed and all overgrown, so you can't swim in the pool.
As you can see here on this trail, it loops back around to the same starting point. And here's the traditional walls that they built around their communities with the volcanic rock. And there's one more, and that's the end of the trail here. And then here's one more about the plantation era homes in the park, and this talks about the sugarcane mill, the sugar mill that was in operation in 1888, processing sugar transported by mule carts to the landing, the Kipahula landing that was here, and then off to the United States. The mill was located 2 miles east of here. enjoyed our adventure here at Haleakala National Park, then please hit the like button down below and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And follow us on our journey and adventures to visit all 63 national parks here in the United States. So whatever you're doing today, get out to the great outdoors and do something that makes you smile.